If I can have everyone's attention here in the Media Center, we welcome at this time Jeff Gordon, driver of the number 24 Drive to End Hunger Chevrolet, winner of today's 52nd Annual Advocare 500. As most of you are aware, this is his 85th victory in 642 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series races, placing him solely on third place on the all-time wins list. Also his third victory of 2011 and fifth victory here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Jeff, talk a little bit about the race today. I know you're full of emotion right now, and a little bit about the special presentation in Victory Lane as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, everybody knows when Mike Helton speaks, he has a way with words. So to be up there, get presented that beautiful plaque that they put together with a collage of all the victories, you know, just looking back on all the people that have contributed to it, from Hendrick Motorsports, you know, different crew chiefs and crew members and guys in the engine shop. I mean, it's a team effort, and you know, to win 85, you know, is unbelievable, and you know, to do it here at Atlanta. I mean, just this, I'm not sure where to really kind of rank everything, because the significance of this win today, the timing of it, doing it here at Atlanta on such a tough racetrack, battling with Jimmy, the bonus points, the 85th win, you know, the momentum that this team has got right now, and the race cars we're taking to the racetrack. It's just, man, this is cool.
Alan, from your perspective, obviously with this win and the finish here today, Jeff clinched a top 10 spot in the chase. Your thoughts being with this team this year and just being part of such memorable finishes and a memorable year for Jeff Gordon?
Yeah, it's, you know, this was one of the racetracks that we felt like, you know, Jeff alluded to, we had a lot of momentum, but we felt like we struggled on the mile-and-a-half high bank tracks at Texas and at Charlotte. And this is one of the tracks we felt like to be an elite team and contend to win the championship, we'll have to do well on these style racetracks. So really pleased to do that. Had a really fast car. Jeff did a great job. And, you know, it was a lot of emotions today. There was times where I felt like, man, we were going to win the race, and there's times that we were 10th when it looked like it was going to rain out. So it was up and down and a long time coming, but a great day nonetheless. And you know, Jeff alluded to it too about the 85 wins. It's an awesome accomplishment for him. I think he's super deserving of all the accolades he gets throughout his career, not only for a race car driver, but for being a great person. And it's a big deal for Hendrick Motorsports also to have Jeff solely in that third position. It's a real great accomplishment for our company.
Okay, we'll open it up for questions here in the Media Center. Please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. We'll start over here with Mark.
Mark Carroll, PRN. Jeff, how important do you think it was to sort of deliver a message to the 48 team that you guys are in championship form and we can beat you by holding them off here in those last few laps?
Well, I think everybody recognizes how strong they are, and you know that you can never count them out, and you know those guys are running really strong right now as well. And I mean, I think the last couple weeks, you know, we've been able to send a great message to all our competitors of how strong this team is, how good our race cars are. I love the fact that we go to Bristol. You know, at Bristol, I felt like we had a car that could win there, and then we come to a big mile-and-a-half track like this, and we do win. Certainly a great battle between me and Jimmy. Had a lot of fun out there racing them, and man, I was sliding around. You know, this track really, really freed up as it laid rubber down, and I'm kind of glad we had that break, because it tightened up after that, and we needed that. And so, you know, had we needed to run and make one more run, I don't know if we could have gotten it tight enough. But, you know, when you've got a five-time champion, and I have a lot of respect for Jimmy and that team, you know, and when we pulled out after that last stop and we pulled away from them, I was like, I felt pretty good, pretty comfortable. Car was driving perfect. And then all of a sudden, with about 15 to go, it started really loosening up. And I saw, you know, I was hoping to look up and see him loosening up as well. If he wasn't showing it because he was coming hard. And I made a few mistakes trying to search around and try to figure out if I could get my car to drive a little bit tighter. And I just had to go back to what I was doing. I had to get to the bottom in 3 and 4 and the top in 1 and 2. And so that kind of maintained a little bit, but he was a little bit better than me in 1 and 2, and you know, he had a couple runs at me. And I think when he got underneath me and he didn't complete the pass, to me, that's what allowed me to go, okay, we still are going to win this race. I just can't make mistakes. And so I know that it was a great message, but I think that we're having a lot of fun right now. Race cars are awesome, and we've got a lot of momentum. So we can't wait to get to next week in Richmond as well as get this chase started.
We'll take our next question from George, then go to Jim.
Yeah, George Diaz, Orlando Sentinel. Jeff, you alluded to this just now, but if we can backtrack a little bit, just when did you think you pretty much had this thing in the bag when you, as you said, that he couldn't quite get by you? At what point? Because there was about 10 laps or so when it was obviously a very much of a dogfight.
Yeah, there was listen, my emotions, I can't imagine what these guys are going through on pit road, but mine were going up and down because I made a comment about, man, we're done, the things just got too loose. And Alan was encouraging me, man, we can get it done. My spotter, Jeff Dickerson, did a great job as well. And so Jimmy got underneath me off of 2, and it's probably like 5 or 6 to go. And I kind of cleared him, and then we got into 3, and he got right up on me, got me real loose, and got underneath me. But when he didn't complete the pass, it gave me a little bit of hope. But it was a nail biter all the way to the end, and he got real loose off of 4 coming to take the white. And I think that was the turning point. I really do. I think that, had he gotten underneath me off of 2, I was getting so loose over there, and if he could have got to the bottom into 3, I don't know if I could have held him off of 4. It would have been a great battle either way, but he got real loose off of 2, and when that happened, it gave me a little bit of breathing room where I could go down into 3 and just drive the car real straight and be, not push the issue and not get the car real sideways. Every time I stood in the gas off of 2, the car would just step out and just lose momentum, and that's where he was gaining on me. So I was able to just drive it straight when he got loose off of 4.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Jim, then go up to the press box.
Jim Miller, Show Observer. Jeff, today we heard stuff about the tires lasting a field run, but also wearing out. Tony talked about the character of the racetrack and does now Ed Clark to touch it or repave it. We saw the great side-by-side racing at the end with you and Jimmy. What were the ingredients you think that added up to what turned out to be a really good race, pretty much from start to finish today?
I mean, I think that any racetrack that we go to that has, a pavement that's of this consistency, that it has worn, has aged, that is abrasive like this, and as long as Goodyear can find a tire, that can hold up in these kinds of conditions, then this is the ultimate track, and it's the ultimate place. I mean, when you've got a track that cars are running on the bottom, the middle, the top, at both ends of the racetrack, and the drop off in speed from the beginning to the end of the run, that to me is what you want to see in a racetrack. So I think that if you look at Kansas and Chicago and these tracks that now are have some age on them, those are the best tracks that we go to. They're finding a little bit better ways on doing the progressive banking on new paves, but I think all of us prefer these older surfaces, as long as we understand that they've got to stay together, the foundation and everything. They start seeing the seams and the cracks. And there's obviously, it's tough to hold these these high bank tracks together like this. So sometimes they have to do what they have to do, like Phoenix did. But for all of us as competitors, we prefer to keep it like this.
Okay, do we have any questions from the press box?
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Jeff, do you recall how long it's been since you won a race in a car that was that loose, and might that be a little part of the rejuvenation you feel that what you were talking about on TV a while ago?
Well, the car wasn't loose the whole run. It was just loose there at the end, and that's why Jimmy caught us, just because we got too loose. But, I got to say that right now, the rejuvenation is going to the racetrack and having race cars that are driving as good as the ones that I'm driving. To me, it's not about being loose or tight. It's about having a fast race car that you can lean on it, you can maneuver around the track, you can pass with, and you can adjust. And when I can give information to Alan that we're not panicking, we're not way off. he can make those great adjustments that keep us in the game and keep us improving as the race goes on. So I credit Alan and his group. These guys have just been unbelievable this year in how they listen to the comments that I say, the belief that they have in me, and now the confidence that I have in them in what they're bringing to the racetrack.
And also, just again specifically talking about those last 10 or 12 laps, but I asked Jimmy if he was surprised or disappointed to lose a duel of loose race cars, considering he's so notorious for that. And he said, well, I know what his setup is, and it was a ton tighter than mine. At the last 10 or 12 laps, were you as loose as he was from what you could see?
Well, I mean, I think his car would just roll the middle a little bit better, so he could kind of roll into the corner and keep the momentum, but he was pretty loose off as well. My car was a little bit tighter through the center, but it was as loose up off the corner for sure. But, I think that at the end there, as hard as we were all pushing, I think that we had about the same amount of grip.